Imagine you're walking through a Philippine village at dusk. The jungle beside the village humming with life. Then a screech pierces the air. Then you see an oddly shaped silhouette gliding above the trees. Upon noticing you, it perches on top of a hut. You feel it was stalking something or someone, but now it's stalking you. This is what happened to Marie Santos when she was trying to deliver medicine in her village in Aswang, Philippines. Something was following her. Something was watching her. Something was stalking her. I'm Eric Whiteside, and your transmission has been set to The Echo Diaries. It was October 1987. 34-year-old Maria Santos walked down the trail at night as the sun began to set behind the horizon. She'd known the trail well. Usually she'd walk at dawn, but at dusk, the trail took on its own kind of life. That's why she walked the trail very cautiously, because she knew that snakes found their way into the trail, and one bite from them could leave you dead on the spot. A cold breeze blew in, and she felt a little relief from the humid air. "Oh, that feels nice," she said. The buzz of cicadas kept her company as she walked. This allowed her to find some peace in the darkness. The smell of fresh bananas was in the air. She took a breath and tasted them, and for a moment it made her forget the eerie darkness altogether. On her hip was a woven bag filled with herbs, bandages, and other medicines, while in her right hand was a kerosene lamp, the dim light lighting the trail as she walked. She looked around. "Something feels different," she said, as an eerie feeling ran up her neck. She raised the lamp to check her surroundings, but there was nothing but blackness. She clutched the rosary around her neck and felt a bit safer. She looked to the sky. "Please, Lord, protect me on my journey," she said. The medicine delivery was on the other side of town, which normally she would do during the day, but tonight she got an urgent call from her sister. She recalled the conversation. "Maria," Andrea said, "the doctor needs you. Someone's been hurt across town." "Who?" Maria asked, worry upon her tongue. "The Abad brothers. Something attacked them in the jungle. It's left them severely wounded and nearly dead." "Was it a crocodile?" she asked. "I'm not certain," Andrea said. "From what I've heard, it was something much larger." Maria grew pale. "What's larger than a crocodile? Out here," she thought. "Come now, sister," Andrea said. "I'll accompany you over to the doctor's." Maria began to pack. "Okay, let me grab a few things." "Wait," Andrea said. "Why don't we get Hari to come with us? You know, for protection." "Fine," Maria said. "You go get him. I'll start heading over there now." "Why don't you wait until Hari gets here?" "I have to go, but you're right. Go get him and meet up with me." Andrea sighed. "You always have to be so stubborn." "I'm sorry, sister," Maria said, "but I can't wait." Maria faded back from the memory to find herself on the trail alone. She glanced back to see if Hari and Andrea were on her tail, or even a flicker of their lantern, but there was nothing. Only the darkness that surrounded her. Then she heard something that made her pulse race. A screech from the woods, but could see nothing. Then came a flutter and the slow flap of wings that made the wind dance. Maria looked to the sky, but she saw nothing. Then a form began to shape in the darkness. A massive form, a grotesque form with giant wings and a thin body. Something was coming. Then she heard a second screech that made her tremble. The moonlight above began to shape the creature, and Maria saw the dark, black beak and the long, bat-like wings. This caused a memory to swell in her mind. "It can't be," Maria said. "The Wakwak." Her grandmother's voice rang in her ears. "Never go into the jungles at night, my dear Nana," her grandmother would say. "Why, Lola?" she asked so innocently. "I'll tell you, Nana," her grandmother said gently. "In the jungle lives a she-vampire with the body and face of a woman. Her black, sharp beak can pierce through armor, and her serrated black wings can cut through steel. She hunts those for their blood, for she is the queen of the jungle and the countess of blood. Thirsting for more monster mayhem? Check out issue 1 of my comic White Blood for absolutely free. It's a tale about a woman turned into a white who must fight the Zombie King and reclaim her life. The only problem is the Zombie King has other plans. He's sent his own zombie plague to stop her in her tracks. Meanwhile, other whites are on the same mission, but will stop her if she gets in their way. If you want to check out more, go ahead and go to the link in the comments below. Also, if you want to support our channel, go ahead and pre-order our American Cryptid Survival Guide coming out September 1st. It's exactly what you need to survive if you come in contact with a cryptid in one of the 50 states. So get it now. Let's tune you back to our Echo Diary. Her grandmother touched her hand softly. But don't you worry, Nana. She placed a rosary in her hand. This will protect you. This will ward off evil. And this will give you strength in the presence of danger. Maria blinked, clutching the rosary tightly. She glanced up at the creature upon the hut. It was more hideous than she imagined as a child. Her legs were tan and bent, matching her upper feminine torso, and from her head was long black hair that danced in the cool wind that blew by. The creature rattled her beak, and then she wrapped her wings around her. Maria gasped and covered her nose. What is that smell? A foul stench caught the air, and it replaced the sweet smell of bananas with the stench of rotting meat and sour blood. Maria then placed the rosary to her heart. Lord, give me strength. Make me unafraid, she said. Then Maria turned on her toes. She kicked off, running towards the hut to aid the wounded men. I must get this medicine to them, Maria said, and nothing, not even the Wakwak, will stop me. Behind her, the creature let out another high-pitched screech, like a pig being slaughtered. The creature flapped her wings, slowly at first, and then faster as she took flight. Maria raced down the trail as the Wakwak flew higher and higher into the moonlight. The creature's silhouette hung in the blue eye in the sky for just a moment, and then she dived towards Maria, screeching on descent. Maria screamed. The creature dove faster and faster, gaining ground upon Maria, and then the creature's beak snapped open, and just as it was ready to snatch her up into the air, Maria dove. The Wakwak flew right past her and flew straight back up towards the sky, disappearing into the darkness. Maria listened as the wind rattled the creature's leathery wings like a kite in flight, and she could tell that the creature was turning again, ready for a second assault. Maria looked to the nearest hut and darted over. She knocked on the door, but nobody answered. She jiggled the handle and the door opened up. She looked inside and no one was there, and then she ran in, closing the door behind her and locking it shut. The creature slammed into the wall. Maria shook and stepped back. It began to bang and knock on the door with its heavy beak, attempting to drill through the wood. Then Maria heard a gasp behind her. She looked back, and there she saw, in the corner, a mother with her daughter. Gloria, Maria whispered. Maria, the mother said. What have you brought to our home? Maria looked at her apologetically. I'm sorry. I had nowhere else to go. Gloria shook her head. It's okay, dear. Come, hide with us. Then the thuds at the door stopped. Suddenly, they heard 3 knocks at the door. Gloria looked towards the door. That must be my husband. He's come and chased off the beast. Wait, Gloria, she said. It was the Wakwak that pursued me. She's a shapeshifter. Do not be fooled. 3 more knocks came at the door. It's my husband. I must let him in, or the creature will get him. Then a thought came to Maria's head. If it's your husband, call his name, she said. Gloria stopped, and then she called, Angelo, is it you? No answer. She called again. Angelo, speak to me. Let me know it's you. Still nothing. She called one last time. Angelo. And then she heard the thud and the screech of the creature. She retreated back towards her child, hugging her as she cried in her arms. Maria looked to them both. "I'm sorry," she said. "I'm so sorry I brought her here." Then a dog squealed in the distance, and the thudding stopped, and they could hear the flap of wings as the creature took flight. A few moments later, they heard the squeal of the dog, and then silence. Maria, knowing this was her opportunity, began towards the door. Gloria yelled after her, "Wait, don't go back out there." Maria looked at her. "Lock the door behind me. I'll be okay," she said. She screamed, and then she felt a sense of relief. Standing there was her sister Angela and their friend Hari, holding a machete in his hand. "Are you all right?" Andrea asked. "I'm fine, dear sister," Maria said. "Where's that creature? I'll kill it myself," Hari said, holding the machete high in the air. Maria patted his shoulder. "Stay here, please. Protect them. I must get to the doctor." Angela grabbed her hand. "No, not by yourself, please," Maria said. "They need your help." The two didn't argue. Instead, they gave her a hug, and they sent her on her way and locked the door behind them. Maria could see the doctor's hut at the end of the trail. She ran with haste. It seemed like forever, but eventually she made it to the door. She knocked quickly. A few moments later, the doctor swung open the door. "You're just in time," he said. Come, bring the medicine and the bandages." Maria looked over her shoulder one last time and then stepped into the hut. "What was that noise?" the doctor asked. "I heard something outside, screeching. Was it what attacked these men?" Maria nodded. The doctor grew pale. "It's here." And then he said, "At least she cannot get in here." Then he rushed towards the back, towards the men. Maria followed on his heels, and when they got to the back, she could see the bloodied men on the floor, barely hanging on to life. The doctor knelt down and began his procedures. Maria then saw a woman standing in the corner by herself. The woman looked at Maria intensely. Maria waved and smiled. "Hello," she said. The doctor chimed in. "I'm so thankful for this woman," the doctor said. "She's brought medicine, and I've been able to keep the men stable until you've arrived." Maria looked at the woman. "Thank you." Then she felt something from the woman, a dark energy that swept over her body. Then she saw the dark black eyes that watched her and studied her like prey. She looked at the woman's hands, and upon them was blood. "The shapeshifter," Maria said with a whisper. The doctor turned and looked at Maria. "What did you say?" "Her," Maria said. "She's the Wakwak." The doctor raised an eyebrow. "No, she can't be. She's not from this village," Maria said. "And I know everyone." The doctor then realized it himself. "Who is this woman?" he thought. The woman smirked. Then all of a sudden her bones began to crack and shift and elongate. Then from her nose grew a giant black beak, and from her arms grew a black leathery membrane. Maria, who was wide-eyed, grabbed her rosary, trembling. "Grandmother, give me strength," she said. All of a sudden, she felt a warm energy flow throughout her body. She then thought, warmth, fire. She looked down to the lantern in her hand, kerosene. Then Maria lifted it above her head and hurled it at the creature. The lantern smashed at the Wakwak's feet, and then it burst into flames. The Wakwak screeched in agony as it caught on fire. Then, as it was still taking shape and caught on fire, it ran towards the door and bursted through it into the night. The creature looked up to the sky and took flight. Maria ran to the door and watched as the Wakwak flew off in a ball of flames over the jungle until the flame disappeared into the darkness. They were safe. "I've done it," Maria said, still clutching the rosary. "I've warded off evil." From that night on, Maria would walk the trail at night as the village protector. She would hum to the cicadas, and they would hum to her as she held onto her rosary, knowing that she had the power of her grandmother with her. But even still, every now and then, she would hear from the jungles the screech of the creature. But it didn't sound like the screech of hunting, but the screech of agony, for the fires had left the creature severely wounded, but alive. But Maria never feared the creature. Instead, she stayed ready. So before you venture into the Filipino jungles, be prepared. for there is a blood-sucking shapeshifter that is still out there. And keep your transmission set to the Echo Diaries.